What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Wanderlust Woman podcast, hosted by, of course, Noah and
Vanessa.
And this is your favorite travel podcast. For those of you already know, but for those of you who are new listeners, welcome. We cover everything travel related, but today we are focusing on one specific location, one really beautiful place that I hope everyone has the opportunity to visit once in their lifetime, which is
Oahu.
Hawaii. Yeah, Oahu. Well, we're both right. That's why we work together, guys, because without us, the podcast would never work. But anyway, Oahu, Hawaii is the most popular island because Oahu is actually the name of one island in Hawaii. Hawaii is, or Hawaii as the locals pronounce it. Got that little pro tip there, you know. Everyone probably knew that already. But it's a chain of islands in the Pacific Ocean. I think it's the 50th state of the United States, so it's technically not international travel, but it definitely feels like you're going somewhere new and exotic. And today we're going to spend the entire podcast giving sort of like a breakdown, a travel guide, everything you need to know before visiting, and to get you really excited and informed if and what you should do when you decide to visit Oahu, Hawaii. So first of all, why should somebody plan on visiting Oahu, Vanessa? Why should they go?
Because it's gorgeous. You don't need a passport, right?
No, not if you're an American.
Just because it's gorgeous, honestly.
Yeah, the natural beauty is unmatched. I think Oahu, spoiler alert, it's one of our favorite places in the entire world. And I think it's probably the most beautiful place I've ever been. Everything included. So yeah, the natural beauty is out of this world. Also, although it is a part of America, it definitely feels a bit different than most of the parts of America.
Which is really cool. It's very culturally diverse.
Yeah, it's culturally diverse. It definitely has like a fusion of Asian culture, specifically like Japanese and Chinese and like Korean and sort of Pacific Islander influence. And of course, the local Hawaiian people that still live there and call that place home, they've left a bit of their culture. Hopefully, like it still gets preserved. And Hawaii is trying to battle with that a little bit with the over-tourism and not like, which is a different topic for another day with like how it affects the local Hawaiian people. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. So that's why you should visit Hawaii. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be exotic and interesting and different. But how long do you think someone how long
should be here?
God, kill me. How long should somebody stay when visiting Oahu?
I mean, you should probably stay, forever.
But
if you can't, at least a week. 2 weeks if you can.
Or do a longer stay, like we did.
Yeah, you could.
Which we did a month, and it was ideal for us to really like see as much as we wanted, and also to take in the sort of laid back Hawaiian Islander vibe of just relaxing and kind of like not stressing too much. People in Hawaii. Sorry guys, you didn't see that. Just really trying to enunciate. All right. But anyway, so that brings us on to the next part, which is the budgeting, because you probably, maybe you do, but it costs a lot of money to stay somewhere for a month. Not that I'm saying we're rich or anything. You're like, you don't have our kind of money, but we were there for a longer honeymoon and we were digital nomads, so we were essentially homeless. So that was like just an expensive month of rent for us that month. But if you're trying not to break the bank and spend all your money on a trip to Hawaii, what are some ways you can budget and save a buck or two, Vanessa?
I think you're going to break the bank no matter what. But if you could do these things to help lessen the break, I guess. Yeah, you could definitely do some things to help mitigate your costs. And it doesn't have to be like a ridiculously expensive trip. It's going to be like some things you can't avoid, like you said. But what are some things we can do to minimize like the destruction to your account? I think the biggest thing is... Well, is it the biggest thing? Okay, well, we'll get through them all. Okay, well, one of the things is transportation. Yes. So public transportation is going to be your best friend if you want to avoid spending a ton on like a rental car or Ubers. Ubers are also very, very expensive. If you're there for a short amount of time, I guess it's not as bad. But if you're there for a month like we were, or even a week, that would kill you. Yeah, or even a week, I think, could definitely add up day by day. But yeah, I totally agree. And this is kind of another like added point where if you're trying to decide which Hawaiian island is right for you and you're trying to visit on a budget, Oahu is your best option because Oahu is the only island that has really good public transportation in the form of the Holo bus, which Vanessa was talking about, which it has its pros and its cons. Overall, it's very reliable. It's not exactly the most time efficient, but you can get to some really great places without like too much of a hassle overall, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, that's the number one thing. But if someone did want to rent a car,
or for a couple of days.
Yourself.
Yeah, just to really get out there and have full freedom.
Yeah, especially for like North Shore, you're gonna spend the whole day on public transportation.
Yeah, to get to the North Shore of the island, it could take you like 3 hours on bus, or an hour if you get a car.
If you get a hui.
Yeah,
which is like a car. I don't know. How would you even like? It's like
it's like a Lime scooter for a car.
Yeah,
it feels like.
Yeah, it really is because you do everything through your phone to unlock the car.
Yeah.
There's like designated spots that people have to like park and stuff
Mm-hmm.
for it. But it's really affordable and they're like all Priuses and stuff, so they're really good on gas.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is an option if you want a bigger car though.
Yeah.
But we just always went for the Prius.
Yeah, and the price per day isn't terrible. I think it's like $70-$80.
I think it was like $80-$90.
Which maybe...
But that's like the entire day.
Yeah, for the entire day. Maybe if you plan ahead, you could get a better like rental car deal or something. But if you're just like want a car that day to do something, it's not the worst thing in the world, and the convenience is really great. So I was saying, because a lot of the times they're in designated spots, especially in an area I recommend you stay in for your own convenience. We're still talking about like how to make this trip work. You should stay in Waikiki because a lot of huis are in Waikiki, and Waikiki also has many other perks and benefits. Mm-hmm. And I know I have mine, but do you want to take the lead or do you want to follow me, V?
No, go for it.
Okay, so Waikiki. We did a whole little segment on our previous podcast talking about why Waikiki. Too much coffee this morning, everybody. Why Waikiki isn't just an overrated tourist hub, because Waikiki is essentially like a concrete jungle. It is an area right in the south shore of Oahu, which is pretty much like exclusively for tourists. There's lots of sort of like gimmicky places to eat or bars. There's a really big beach. There's a lot of high-rise buildings. It's very touristic. It's more superficial. It's not like as beautiful and like immersed into nature. But I think it still has a lot of perks because of, one, convenience.
Yes. 2.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to go to 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 2, I would say Waikiki Beach is also a really great thing for you to have, like right at your doorstep. And again, like if you've seen the previous podcast, you know our feelings about Waikiki Beach. It's about 2 miles long. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sand is really nice. There's lots of good areas to swim, great views, great snorkeling options. We'll talk more about Waikiki Beach with the beach section of Hawaii, because that's probably a big reason why you want to come to Oahu, is to visit its beautiful beaches. But yeah, it's also a great place to take the bus around different parts of the island. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Waikiki's got lots of great places to eat and so on. It's just a really good hub to base yourself out of. And another great thing for budgeting, there are places for you to grocery shop, which can definitely allow you to save some money, because eating out every day in Oahu could definitely drain you really quickly.
Actually, there's only one grocery store in Waikiki.
Yep, they just actually like rebuilt it recently.
Yeah. It's pretty nice, but it is definitely more expensive there.
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive than going to your local like Kroger or Walmart or whatever. But definitely still a lot cheaper than, going to a restaurant every day. So for obviously budget tips, go grocery shopping at a store in Waikiki, and get a place, if possible, where you can cook. So that's like an Airbnb or maybe like a hostel with a shared area for you to do some cooking. I know you're making fun of me, but I think it's a good advice, No,
yeah.
You can also go to the Ala Moana Mall, which is maybe like a 30-40 minute walk from Waikiki, and they have a Target there. And the prices there are still high.
But there's the food pantry.
Yeah, and there's a food pantry as well.
Which is like, it's definitely a lot smaller.
Yes.
But that's not like, it's not a big giant corporation.
No,
like
it's right.
Target,
It's right on the
like Walmart.
Yeah, I think it's right on the edge of Waikiki, the food pantry.
Yeah.
So yeah,
go there first.
Go there first, and if you need something else, we used to stay there for a month, so we have more options. So anyway, that is where you should stay. I recommend staying in Waikiki. There are other cool areas you could stay in the island, but just for the first timer, for overall convenience, it's the best. Grocery shop when possible. Take the bus as much as possible, and if you need to rent a car, use Hui.
Yeah.
So that's how you can like get some of like the practical side of things. But let's talk about the exciting stuff now. What sort of things should you add to your list, and should you want to do when we think about what Oahu has to offer? One of the no-brainers for me, and I don't care like how fit you are or adventurous you are, you need to do some hiking in Oahu, because Oahu is like top level for hikes. You have so many different great ones. I think we did like a couple new hikes every week, I felt like, and there are still many others that were on our list that we didn't get to do. That being said, we did plenty. So here are some of the ones we think you should definitely take a look at and try out, starting with our number one favorite. Do you remember?
I mean, because, well, I'm like
tied. Okay, then. Okay. Yeah,
one of my favorites is Three Peaks.
Yep, or Olomana, as the Hawaiians call it.
Mm-hmm.
And what is like the draw and what makes it such like a must-do hike, Olamana?
It's a little bit of a adrenaline rush because there's some parts where you're like rock climbing to get up.
Yes.
We actually didn't go to the second or third peak because we saw somebody fall and they fell from the third one and they were messed up and they probably shouldn't be alive. And that was enough to just kind of make us want to stick with the first one.
Yeah. I think even in the first one can really test your courage.
Yeah.
And like your limitations.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like that we talk to like, you're crazy, you're doing 3 peaks, I could never do it. Because it has that reputation of being a very, well, to be honest, like people have actually died hiking this hike.
Yeah.
It's like the person that almost died, but people, I think right after we left our first time, someone fell off and like tragically like died. So you don't do it if you don't feel careful or comfortable. Yeah. Be careful, wear comfortable shoes.
Wear good shoes.
Don't
Not
do it
even
if it,
comfy, good shoes.
Yeah, and don't do it if it just like rained that day or it could be slippery. And if you feel any sketchiness, turn back and do it for another time. It's not worth it.
But if you do decide to do it, once you get to that first peak, you're gonna feel so proud of yourself, and it's gonna feel like such a great accomplishment.
Great accomplishment, great adventure.
Yeah.
The views are astounding as well. You're right up next to the oh my god. I forgot the name of the mountain range. There's a massive mountain range. I want to say Coolio, but that's something else we're going to talk about. But there's this massive mountain range on the east side of the island, which has these beautiful green textured mountains, which I just love. They're my favorite ones I've ever seen in my life. So you're like right up there, right in front of them, seeing like the whole range, which is really cool. And then you can see the ocean behind you, and you're on this like little ridge, like really isolated, where it feels like you could just like topple over if you're not careful, which is a really exciting, cool feeling. And for me, that's one of my favorite things about hiking in Oahu is the ridge hikes. It's just like a really cool feature that you can have where you're on the ridge. Oh, they're all isolated. What?
I said rich hikes.
Oh.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Rich in ridges, in beauty and nature.
Okay, ridge hikes.
Yeah, so yeah, for that reason, I really recommend 3 peaks, especially during the first peak. But speaking about ridge hikes, my personal favorite, if I had to choose, it's very tight between those two, is going to be actually Olamana and Coolio Ridge.
I actually think that Coolio is my favorite.
It's hard to say. It depends. They have different things they offer.
They do have different things, but I think that's a hike that I could do over and over and still really enjoy it every time.
Yeah. So why should someone enjoy it for the first time?
Well.
I'm glad you asked.
I like the changes in landscape.
Yeah.
It's like in one spot you're like in like, what is it, pine?
Yeah, at the beginning it's just kind of a normal tropical forest. Then it's a pine forest.
Yeah, and then there's some clay parts.
Yep.
And then there's like a forest part, and then you're like literally going upstairs. And then you turn around.
To like a rainforest sort of feeling.
Yeah, and there's just like a gorgeous view behind you, and then you get like up top, and then the view is on the other side. I don't know. It's just like the prettiest views.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah, the views are insane. Except for in the beginning. In the beginning, you're a little bit more like secluded and covered in trees. But then once they open up and you reach this like you said, this like tropical rainforest, exposed ridge area, you get views of the valley behind you and like a bunch of cool landmarks, which we'll talk about more later. And then once you get to the end, you get views of the east side of the island. You can see like the Mokulua Islands. You can see like some other little islands. You can see the valley. It's just extremely gorgeous.
But you're going to want to go on a nice day.
Yes.
The first time we went, it was actually a really sunny and hot day, and it was cloudy up there, a little cloudy. And then the second time, we couldn't see anything. There were no views.
No. Very sad.
And did it start raining? I think it was going to.
Maybe on the way back it did a little bit.
Yeah.
But
we went at like during a weird week though, where the weather was very cloudy and rainy.
Yeah, so of course it's a tropical island, so keep that in mind when planning these activities and try and be as flexible as you can day by day.
We actually turned around.
Yeah, we did.
One of the attempts. So don't do it if it's raining.
We've tried to hike it 3 times. We completed it twice.
Yeah.
That's how much we love it. And it's also, these 2 hikes are pretty easy to get to with a bus as well.
Yeah, super easy.
Which is great if you're a budget traveler. So yeah, those are 2 hikes, and just one more. We could go on for hours about hikes and our own experiences. But just for you guys to give you an idea of different, like what to expect for Oahu, I think these ridge hikes are a really cool idea. Also, a unique feature of hikes in Oahu is a lot of them have these pillboxes. And what are pillboxes, Vanessa?
So I was thinking about it, and then I was like, you know what? I think Noah would do a much better job.
I think you're right too. That was very smooth. So at the end of a lot of these hikes in Oahu, they have these pillboxes, which are these really like interesting little bunkers, and a lot of times they have like a pretty color to them, being like a pink or a purple, so they're like really eye-catching. But they actually were previously used as lookouts during World War II when America was, going to war against like the Japanese. I think they would keep an eye out for potential attacks, maybe after Pearl Harbor. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. But anyway, these nowadays provide like natural lookouts, just really cool spots for you to hang out and like enjoy at the end of the hike. And some pillbox hikes I recommend you do. One would be the Lanikai Pillbox, which we'll talk more about Lanikai in general. It's a great view. There's the Pink Pillbox on the west side of the island, which that's a little bit harder to get to without a car, to be honest. So keep that in mind.
It's a little further away.
And probably the most popular one is going to be Cocoa Head Crater, which I think is an amazing hike. It's definitely really difficult and intense. It's like pretty much like a Stairmaster for a mile straight up, but at the top you reach a pillbox. And I think the views from Cocoa Head are really great as well.
Yeah.
So those are 3 ideas. If I had to pick my favorite 2, it'd probably be all 3. No, it's really hard to say. They each offer something interesting, but just hiking a pillbox is an experience you must have when considering these different hikes in Oahu. I don't think there are personally any waterfall trails that I would like say you must do. We've done better waterfall hikes in different areas in the world.
Yeah.
So, but if you really want to see one, Lulumahu Falls is also a great option. It also has a bamboo forest that you hike through, which is really cool as well. But anyway, moving on from hikes, what's another great thing you guys are undoubtedly wanting to do when going to Oahu?
The beach.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah, that wasn't planned, everybody. I thought she was going to catch on. We did.
I was thinking. Okay, sorry. But yeah, the beach.
Yeah. So for me, those are the 2 main reasons and 2 things you should prioritize when doing in Oahu: hikes and beaches. And if you can combine them both in the same day, it's perfect because you can hike and then go and chill out and take a dip in the beach.
There you go.
Or beach in the ocean at the beach.
Yeah.
Whatever. So again, there's many gorgeous beaches across Oahu, many that we haven't visited ourselves. We visited maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 of them, but we're just going to give you a couple that we really recommend that you must visit. One, of course, is going to be Waikiki Beach.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really easy one to visit, especially if you're staying in Waikiki. You already know the reasons we like it. It's really long. There's lots to do. There are lots of facilities. It's really convenient. There's good snorkeling at Queens Beach, which is actually like a little bit southeast on Waikiki Beach, towards Kapiolani Park. It's right past this little pier. And there we've done some really good snorkeling, saw lots of beautiful tropical fish. Yeah, it's a really great spot for snorkeling and a little less crowded than some of the other areas of the beach.
Yeah.
And even though there's a lot of people there, you can always find some space for yourself.
Yeah. It's a good sunset beach too.
Yeah, a great sunset beach as well. I agree.
And it's so close. You don't have to like worry about taking a bus back after doing whatever.
Yeah, that's a great point. You can easily end every day with a sunset on the beach.
Yeah. You'd probably just walk there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I ate lunch a little too close before the podcast, guys. But so that's Waikiki Beach. And another beach that I think is really cool, which I hinted about earlier, it's definitely my favorite on the entire island. It's going to be Lanikai Beach. What do you like about Lanikai Beach?
The snorkeling.
Yeah, again.
It's so cool. The ocean scares me. Snorkeling kind of scares me a little bit, but Lanikai, I feel so excited to be there. And it's like really cool and feels like an adventure, and you can swim out really far, which is kind of scary, but I don't know. I really enjoyed snorkeling there. Yeah,
for me, that's my favorite snorkeling spot in the entire island. So if you're into snorkeling and you want to give it a try, this is the perfect place to do it because the coral reefs and like rocks are actually really close to shore, maybe like 20 feet. It feels like from like actually where the water hits like the sand.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to go out there, and this like kills the waves, so it doesn't really throw you around that much, unless it's a really windy day, of course. But so it makes it really easy to snorkel and see some really cool fish without swimming out super far with relatively calm waters. And we've seen gorgeous fish there. I've seen actually a sea turtle there, which was really cool, and swam with one. Vanessa, unfortunately, missed out on that one, but I showed her videos, so it's kind of like you were there.
Same thing, right?
And the actual location of Lanikai Beach itself, it's the polar opposite of Waikiki, where Waikiki is this very long 2-mile beach with a bunch of like businesses built up along it. Lanikai just feels like it's kind of like a hidden spot. Not that it's hidden. Hold on. Don't freaking like try and throw shade to me in front of people. Let me expand upon this a little bit.
Okay.
Like it's like just behind a neighborhood, and there's not like a bunch of facilities there. There's no bathroom. There's like no bars.
There's a bathroom.
Lanikai Beach?
Oh, I think it's Kailua.
Yeah, you're thinking of Kailua.
Yeah.
Which
Stop.
Sorry. Sorry. But yeah, guys, this is just how we communicate to each other. But Yeah, Kailua Beach is another beach and beach park right next to Lanikai, but I think Lanikai is a lot better.
I agree.
Because like I said, it feels like a spot. It's a little bit more. It's not as built up. It definitely there's still a lot of sand for you to like enjoy.
There's more sand there than there is at Kailua.
I think it's about the same. I was looking at drone footage, and it's you'd be surprised.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's nice sand.
Yeah.
It's clean sand.
It's nice sand. It's clean sand, and yeah, there are really great views too of these two little beautiful islands, which are called the Mokulua Islands, which is like a really cool view spot or viewpoint, landmark for you to look at. That gives it a really cool, unique, exotic feel as well. But anyway, so the Mokulua Islands, sorry, guys, just a little bit of secret here. I can only record 25 minutes at a time, so if there's ever an odd pause, it's because I don't want to get cut off mid-sentence. So just take a little break. Not that this is like hyper-edited or anything. It's just the raw, uncut, real us, everybody. So don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. Just, she can handle me today. But anyway, yeah, so the Mokulua Islands are out there, but they're not just out there to be looked at. If you want to go there, is it possible, Vanessa? Can my dreams become a reality?
If that's your dream, then yeah.
Yes.
You can, but not from Lanikai.
No.
You have to kayak from Kailua
Yep.
Beach
Mm-hmm.
over to the Mokes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an hour and a half?
Yeah, maybe one way.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I don't know, I think it's like 2 miles you have to kayak one
But
way.
you have to like go over
Yeah.
and then straight.
It's a workout.
It is a workout. You're going to be in the sun
Yeah.
for the entire time. But it's going to be so gorgeous. You're going to see lots of sea turtles.
If you're lucky, we saw a few.
You might fall over in your kayak, but it's fine.
It's a nightmare, yeah.
No, it's fine.
And the water is so gorgeous on a
It
sunny
is.
day. It's ridiculously beautiful.
The waves are a little scary though. Because
So
the waves are bigger.
It's a little choppy.
So you can feel the kayak go. If you get seasick, make sure you take some medication before.
Dramamine or something.
Yeah. But 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah, Lanikai, like I said, it's a cool spot, amazing snorkeling, amazing views. The sand is incredibly beautiful. You have the Lanikai Pillbox hike right behind you, which I was
If you're
talking
going to
about
do
a
that
little
one
earlier.
though, do it for sunrise.
If you can.
I think it makes it so much better.
I think it'd be really nice during the day too, though. But I agree, seeing this, because the sunrise is in the east, obviously, and this is on the east side of the island, so you see the sunrise right by the Mokulua Islands from the ridge. It's magical.
It is. So
I'm just saying,
get the best experience
Yes.
and go for sunrise, and then afterwards go get an acai bowl at the Sunrise Shack,
in Kailua,
and then kayak to the Mokes, and then after that go chill out at Lanikai.
yeah, and we did that ourselves, and it was an amazing day.
And it was one of my favorite days.
Definitely, yeah. So Lanikai, you can't miss it. And another beach that I think is really cool that you should visit if at all possible, if you have a rental car and you're able to go to like the west side of the island, is going to be. Oh, I forgot the fucking name.
That's with an M.
M?
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, there's 2.
Oh.
Okay, I remember it. Nanakuli is what I'm talking about.
Nanakuli?
That's the one that we visited that has Mermaid Cave right near it.
Ah.
And that's a smaller little beach,
Yes.
but it's really intimate. There's so really gorgeous mountain views of the mountains on the west side, which have a different look and feel to the east side mountains.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of local like Hawaiians that live on the west side, so we actually got to meet some more like people, like actual Hawaiian people, rather
Yeah.
than just like tourists.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And the Mermaid Caves are a really cool spot too.
Yeah, we went during high tide, so we didn't really.
But the locals were still jumping in there and going
I know,
crazy.
so-
And it was fun to
yeah,
watch.
it
But I'm like,
really was.
I want to do it, but I don't want to die.
I know, right?
So that's really great. And then if you want to go even further north, there's Makua Beach.
Yes.
Which that is like the perfect wildlife watching spot. I actually was able to swim with dolphins because that's like the best place in the entire island to see dolphins from shore, or swim out with them from the shore if possible, if the waves aren't too crazy. I made a video going over that entire experience, so check that out if you want to see. We have some really gorgeous footage of the dolphins from shore and with the drone, so that was really cool as well. But yeah, those are just 4 beaches. If you go to the North Shore as well, one more for you guys. I know I was going to say to a couple, but there's so many that I recommend. I think Sunset Beach is really cool.
Yeah.
It has this like palm tree that sticks out at like a 90-degree angle, which is kind of a cool sight. And then the sunsets in the west, and Sunset Beach faces west as well, so you can see the sunset over the ocean. Really gorgeous sight as
I
well.
don't remember the palm tree.
Look at the footage.
Oh.
It's the North Shore where we saw the final sunset. You remember?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I don't remember the tree.
Well, I know you remember all the surfers.
Yeah. I would not go swimming there.
No.
It's a gorgeous beach.
Not during the winter.
Yeah, but the waves are really intense. Some people were in there, I think.
But they're getting their butts kicked.
But yeah, if you're not a strong swimmer, I would not swim. And I feel the same way about the ones on the west side as
Yes.
well. Because Noah went in, and he's fine. I'm not a strong swimmer, and I just put my feet in.
I think Nanakuli Beach though was a little more chill. I think there was waves, but they weren't like crazy. I remember I was hopping in and I was just having fun. I didn't have to like swim out drastically. I was just like, oh cool, this wave's gonna come, yay! Not like fighting to get out there, because when the waves are strong, you have to like fight to not get pushed back to shore.
Yeah.
That's not how Nanakuli was.
Really?
Yeah, I watched the video.
Why didn't I go in then?
Because it wasn't warm enough for you. You remember? You were being very... This was our second trip. You were like, it's not that hot. I don't really feel like I'm missing out, so I'm not going to swim. Little freaking...
I'm very specific about my swimming... What is it? Experience.
Yep, she's... what do you call it? High
maintenance. The ocean scares me, so when I want to go in, I want to be able to fully enjoy it.
Of course. Yeah. Well, speaking of fully enjoying it, we talked about things you would really enjoy for hikes and beaches. But, of course, when you go anywhere, something you are going to look forward to doing, unless you're just like an ultimate budgeter, is going out to eat and trying some different foods, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good segue, yeah?
Yeah, good job.
I'm a pro. No, I'm really not. Okay. So anyway, what kind of foods do I think you must try? We're going to give you a few of our recommendations, which might start at like 3 and end up at 10 at this rate.
I know.
But yeah, so our number one... let's not do it.
Number one?
No, okay, let's just go through one. What is a really great place?
Your 3, 2, 1.
But it's not that strict, I guess. So it's just more about places I recommend.
Well, I definitely know what my number one is.
We'll take the lead. I'll piggyback off you on this one. What's a food place you want to talk about?
My number one or just a food
place? Whichever one you want to go for now.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
My number one is...
Okay. After that, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Well, because
you
list your 3. List your number 3. List one of them,
okay.
And I'll say my number one.
Okay, I know your number one is.
I know, it's your number one too.
Yes, so one, we'll just talk about a place to start your day with breakfast. Maybe somewhere you can have at Waikiki Beach. A good thing you must, oh my god, a thing you must try in Hawaii, of course, is going to be the acai bowls.
Absolutely.
And there are 2 places we want to recommend. Mm-hmm. One which is kind of like a hipster, hidden gem place. The other one which you're going to roll your eyes because it's very basic. So we'll start with the very basic one, which is going to be Island Vintage.
Cafe,
yeah. And what is great about Island Vintage?
Their acai bowls are really good.
For a few reasons, I think.
Yes, I think it's the lilikoi
agave
that makes it so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm being honest, they have 2 locations.
Mm-hmm.
One is in Waikiki and the other one is at the mall.
Mm-hmm. Ala Moana.
Yes. And the acai bowl that I had in Ala Moana was a lot better than the one I had in Waikiki.
Yeah, maybe the one in Waikiki.
And there's no line.
True. Maybe the one in Waikiki, they're trying to churn them out faster because of the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lilikoi agave, lilikoi means passion fruit, in case you don't know. It's really tasty and fresh. Also, the granola is really delicious that they put in acai bowls. At Island Vintage, it's really good too. They also have really good like cold brew coffee and stuff.
Are you sure lilikoi is passion fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to gaslight me for maybe a second. Guess myself in the podcast. No.
Sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, now I'm like, is it? I'm
Let us know in the comments.
Sure. Do you spell apple with an A? You're making me second guess everything right now.
Sorry.
But yeah, anyway. So I think they're really good. They also have some good food options that we've never tried, but it looks really delicious as well.
Do we have coffee there?
Yeah, we have coffee there.
Coffee's 100%. Good.
So that's a great place. If you don't want to wait forever in line though, and you want to go somewhere a little bit more unique, I could not recommend this cafe called
Alo.
A-L-O.
A-L-O.
Yep, and they offer, it's a cafe, you can't sit inside, but they offer the same kind of things. They have banana bread, which is actually really freaking delicious.
It's really good.
But to be honest, the first time we went, I don't know if they changed something or with the batch that came in that day, it wasn't quite as good, but before if it was a 10 out of 10, now it was like an 8.5.
The thing with the banana bread is that you're going to try it once and then they're never going to have it again.
Yeah.
They're going to sell out every time you want it after that.
Which is a good sign.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it's a pretty big size for the price, I think, kind of, maybe.
I think so, for Hawaii standards.
Yeah. And the acai bowls are really good. I think like the smoothie mix is really sweet, especially with the agave added. The fruit's really good as well. They have agave to put in, which we like a lot.
There was one time though where it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
So I can't say that they're very consistent.
Well, you've been there like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So, hey, most of the time we really enjoy them.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's more to eat in Hawaii than just acai bowls, although that's like one of my favorite things you have to eat on the island, especially like for a nice breakfast on the beach. But let's talk about our favorite place. So just we're teasing them too much, Vanessa. So sorry, guys. No more teasing. Let's.
Number one place
that you must try
is Tane Vegan Izakawa.
Izakaya.
Izakaya.
Yeah. Close enough. Yeah. And what do they specialize in?
Sushi.
Yes.
Vegan sushi. Vegan's in the name, but.
Yeah, true. But it's not just a place for vegans.
Because, no, it's not. Yeah. We actually, our friend told us about it, and they are not vegan. And they were like, it's so good. They took their friends that were not. Are they vegan?
They took their friends and family there, and they took us there.
Yeah. And it's so good, and it's like such a classy vibe,
yes,
I think.
A little more upscale.
Yeah.
But in Hawaii, you never have to dress that fancy, because it's an island laid back.
Right.
Like, it's probably as fancy as you would ever need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty fancy, guys. But no, anyway.
Anyway, they just have a really crazy sushi. What is it?
Creations.
Combinations, creations. But they're so good, all of them.
Yeah, they have a lot of like tempura sushi rolls where they put a mixture of like avocado, different like fruits and vegetables. Where some are really crunchy and they put this delicious sauces all over it. They're really creative and they're extremely delicious. It's not like typical pure like Japanese sushi where they just do like, you know, the rice and like the fish on top. Well, obviously no fish because it's vegan, but it's not the nigiri. It's like the maki style, I guess I would call it. It's very fancy. It's very American. How Americans go over the top with our creations, but it's really delicious and it all works. And I could eat it every day of my life. My favorite sushi I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Easily.
And we went to Japan.
I went to Japan. We didn't have any sushi in Japan, but no, we had it once.
No, yeah,
we had it once. That's good though, but it was just more simple.
Yeah.
There were these. It's like a flavor explosion.
It's like
and texture is, it's so good.
So good. You have to go.
And finally, our last food recommendation, kind of, because we have another food-related place coming later on this list, is going to be in the neighborhood of Kaimuki, so a little bit outside the Waikiki area. This place is called Plant-Based Paradise. Now, if you can't tell, we're vegan, so a lot of our options are very vegan friendly. So if you're like, why didn't they mention this place that serves sushi or poke? That's why. But anyway, what is great about Plant-Based Paradise, Vanessa?
We tried a few different things there, and they're all very good, very healthy, very tasty.
Yeah.
Like
fresh.
Not fresh. What is it? Where there's so many flavors.
Rich.
Yeah.
It's very rich, and the atmosphere is really cool as well, because Plant-Based Paradise is actually a yoga studio that has a restaurant inside, so it has kind of like a little shop area, a yoga studio in the back, a small little seating area. It's nothing too like fancy, but it's definitely pretty and aesthetic and chill. It's a nice place to eat, and the food quality is really good. I really recommend getting the Loco Moco, which is another Hawaiian specialty, which is like a bed of rice topped with a patty of some sort, and usually like eggs and gravy. It's really hearty. But this one's extremely rich and full of flavor. Yeah. It's salty. I've had a few different Loco Mocos, and this one is by far my favorite on the island.
Definitely.
I can eat it a ton. So, yeah, that's our food options. There's, of course, many more places. I did a whole video outlining my favorite foods I've eaten in Oahu. Actually, all of them, really. So check that out if you're just a foodie like us.
Yeah.
But we got to keep things moving, because Oahu has so much more to offer. We went over hikes. We did beaches. We did food. Now let's just talk about some other really cool activities. We're splitting them into ones that are maybe more mainstream that we still recommend, and then later we're going to get to some hidden gems or lesser known options. So what are some of the mainstays?
Mainstays would be
that everyone knows about.
Poho Maluia
Botanical Garden. Yeah, and why do you think it lives up to the hype?
Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous and it's so exotic, and it's not what you would see in a conservatory here in Detroit.
No, it's like if you were to picture the most beautiful part of a greenhouse, it's that out in the open, being surrounded by amazing views of like the natural island around you. The Ko'olau, that's the name of the mountains. Ko'olau.
Oh, I would not have remembered that.
Well, it's okay. But I'm happy I did at least. People think I'm full of crap. Okay. But yeah, they're like totally exposed in some areas, and you can see like the most beautiful sections of those those mountains from the island, being surrounded by these beautiful like exotic plants, like cocoa trees. These plants that look like dreadlocks hanging down, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I should have looked it up, but they're so, like, all the plants are so cool. And, like, it's just crazy to me that you can just, like, see these out anywhere in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But also there.
True. And it's also, if you're not a big hiker, and I really can't, like, convince you to do any of these hikes, this is a good way to see some natural beauty in the mountains and stuff without doing a hike. Because you can drive through it if you want to, but here's a bit of a pro tip, and you know this one. Is if you don't drive through and you just walk in, you can stay past closing hours and have the whole area pretty much to yourself.
Yeah. So if you have a car, you have to leave at 4 p.m. But if you walked in, you have to leave at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 hours of basically having it all to yourself because everyone drives in.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's really cool. Also, it's a really great... If it is raining, you probably do want to drive in because it's going to be raining. But it looks so gorgeous there, even when it's raining.
Yeah, the mist is will be...
like over the mountains.
Over the mountains, because that's the main mountain range, so it kind of like blocks the clouds, but it gives it this really mysterious vibe, which is really cool.
It's like the PNW.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest of America, if you're not familiar,
Sorry.
like Oregon, Washington. But anyway, I agree. It's a really cool atmosphere. Speaking of really cool atmospheres, what's another really interesting place that makes you feel like you're out of this world when you visit? It makes you feel like you're maybe in a different country or continent, based on the architecture and cultural...
You're talking about the Biodoin.
I was! Oh, what an astute guess, Vanessa.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what is Biodoin?
It is a like Japanese, but also Buddha styled temple.
Yeah.
Actually, like not very far from the botanical garden.
Not driving, it's probably not that far away at all. It's probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah. You can take a bus between the two if you'd like.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, it's a Japanese Buddhist temple. It's actually modeled off of a temple built in Kyoto, Japan, but they brought they made their own model in Hawaii. I think the Hawaii one looks a lot more gorgeous based on the pictures.
It's so pretty. Like I don't know, I was very surprised because you have the mountains behind it, and then like I don't know why all the photos that I have of it, it looks like there's snow on the roof.
Really?
I don't understand how.
That's bizarre.
And then there's like mist on the mountains too sometimes, so it like
makes you feel like you're transported to another world.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, because
they have like a pond and they have a black swan there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I've never seen a black swan.
There's a big koi fish pond as well, where there's tons of these massive koi fish.
You can feed them too.
Yeah, you can.
You can like go buy the food for it.
There's also a massive bell that you can ring, which is like a big like sort of it's not a gong, but it sounds like one. And then you can walk around the garden and like the temple ground itself, and the architecture stunning and exotic, and like Vanessa said, it's a perfect backdrop to make you feel like you're somewhere really freaking cool and unique. And it's only like $5 to enter as well.
I think it's less than that.
Maybe it's really cheap, and it's definitely worth a visit. I think it's a really cool, different sort of activity for you to do. Probably good for a rainy day too, if you are driving somewhere, just have an umbrella and just walk around. And
it sprinkled on us when we were there.
Yeah, which is really cool.
But it was 2 seconds long.
Yeah, and what's one more place that maybe it's not a hidden gem, but it's a different kind of activity for you? Sorry, I guess I'm on lunch, guys. It's a little...
Okay, you go. You take the lead.
Okay, yeah. I'm just asking you questions about all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the final place we recommend for the mainstays or mainstream kind of places. One's a little less mainstream maybe, but I definitely know it's popular to a certain extent. I'm getting to it, guys. It's going to be China Walls. And China Walls is one of my favorite places on the entire island by far. One reason being it is a great sunset spot. Yeah,
it's gorgeous for sunset. But also you have like that adventure side to it too. If you want to like cliff jump into the water, you will feel old there if you're around our age. But
which is only 23, but I'm kidding.
I wish.
47. No, I'm kidding. 27.
Oh no, yeah, I guess I didn't realize my age. Anyway,
that's my age
it's
again.
full of college kids.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. Like if you are college kids, just be like, hey, after class, you want to go.
Listen to some music, have a drink, over China Walls, watch sunset, maybe jump in the water and send it. I feel like that's how Hawaiians talk, though. For sure, bro. Let's go to the China Walls and get lit tonight. That's like the frat boy laugh, you know? But,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm debating if I should post this now. No, I'm kidding.
Very cool vibe there.
Yeah, but what are the China Walls? We didn't really tell people like what they are.
Oh yeah, you tell them.
Okay. So China Walls, these are essentially like little cliffs like jetting out from this part, it's the southeast part of Oahu, and they are like some of the newest parts of the island, which is formed by cooled lava, and it is like still extremely rocky. So it's like not cliffs with like grass and stuff. It's like these like cool textured lava rock that's cooled down where you can jump from varying heights into the ocean or kind of walk around and explore. And it just feels really bizarre and like, it feels like such a cliche, but it feels like you're somewhere out of this world. But it's really cool and distinct and unique.
I wouldn't say out of this world.
Well, I know, but just like the kind of like the structure and how it exists, you wouldn't really find that kind of like rocky sort of like cooled lava cliffs in like any really place in America besides Hawaii, Yeah. In my opinion. So.
If you're traveling with a child, I probably would not bring them there.
Like, so I jumped in the water?
Well, no, not that. Well, you could slip because the waves kind of hit the rock and then it wets the ground there.
Yeah.
So they could slip. It's not flat. So you have to kind of be careful and balance yourself.
Okay. And then people cliff jump, which is definitely a little risky. Don't do it if you don't feel comfortable and you're not really a good swimmer. But it's a really fun activity to do and just makes you feel like you're living the Hawaiian lifestyle. You know? Hang out by the water, good vibes, good sunsets. You could use the mountains too. Kind of a cool little spot, but not as hidden as some of these other places we're going to talk about, which, to be honest, maybe not all of them are hidden gems, but I don't think they get as much attention as these other places. So what's one of those hidden gems, Vanessa, or lesser known places? I like when I kind of give you details and I see if you have to pick up on what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if this is really a hidden gem or not popular, because I do think it's very popular. But I think that when people are on vacation, it's not an activity that they're thinking of doing.
No, I'm like, what is she talking about?
And I'm talking about the market.
Oh, yeah. I just wasn't sure which one.
Because you're on vacation and so you're like, why would I want to go to a market? The market is so freaking cool.
Kaka'ako Market.
Yes.
Which is in the neighborhood of Kaka'ako, right by the Alamoana Mall.
Yeah.
But why is it cool? Why is it worth going to?
Well, because there's so many different vendors there. There's so many foods you could try. There's, it's very artsy. You can buy, clothing if you want. You can buy the,
bucket hats?
No. It's it's not a lei. You put it like a flower crown.
Oh, I really have no idea.
Oh.
The Hawaiians wear?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty.
You can buy just stuff from locals, which is really cool. You can buy fruit. You can buy vegetables. They have a lot of exotic fruit there.
Yeah,
There's just so many cool things about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I would go every weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, no, but you have to keep in mind, like she said, shoot every weekend, but it is only Saturdays from 8 to 12. So you have to go in the morning, but it's not so early in the morning that you feel like you're having to get your ass up or get your butt up super early on vacation. So you can still go at 10 and have a good 2 hours to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is great. And the food is phenomenal. It's a little pricey sometimes, but you can try tons of different stuff.
There's a lot of vegan things there too.
Yeah, from Hawaiian food, Pan-Asian, American, European, everything.
Yeah.
And probably a good place to get some souvenirs too, maybe from a local small business.
Yeah.
Which brings me to our next point, which is another place I really I'm so good at getting souvenirs and stuff for a really good price at a fun, unique, quirky sort of department store, which is going to be yeah, I know I do this too much. Don Quixote. And Don Quixote, what was that
Don't laugh.
This is your first time, yeah, well don't laugh, but this is your first time going to Don Quixote. So what was your impression of it? And what is Don Quixote?
Well, when Noah told me we could go there, it was a Japanese
Walmart.
store.
Yeah,
I was just
Walmart.
Okay, sure, we can go to a market or supermarket or whatever.
Yeah.
It was really cool though. They have so many unique things there, and there is a lot of souvenirs that you could get there.
We always get these cheap $1 Hawaiian earrings, but they're really pretty.
They're so pretty.
And they're the little white and purple flowers that people always have.
Yeah, there's
there.
different colors. There's orange and blue and all that.
You can get coffee. Yeah, true. You can get coffee, you can get nuts, you can get chocolates, all these Hawaiian products for a way better price. Yeah.
So, and then they have a whole bunch of Asian skincare there.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Toys, anime related merchandise if you're into that sort of thing.
They have what is it? Plates.
Yeah, lots of household items too.
Yeah.
Kitchenware.
I don't know. It's so cool.
It is cool, and it's cool because it feels very exotic.
But it's also very different from the ones in Japan.
Yes, it's if you took a Japanese Don Quixote in an American supermarket, we need to, because that's what I love about Hawaii is it's exotic but it's still American.
Yeah.
But it definitely is different America. It's a fusion between America and Asia.
Yeah.
So that's what Don Quixote feels like too. So it's a really cool, unique experience. You can also get a lot of food there if you want as well, which is really cool.
Snacks
and
cool drinks and
there's food vendors around the Don Quixote as well, so you can get eat at the market too if you wanted some good food there. Yeah. So that's a really cool thing to keep in mind. And is there any other hidden gems, Vanessa?
It's not a hidden gem, but it's definitely an activity that I think you should do here because again, there's such a big Asian influence there. It kind of changes how you would do this around our area or the continental US.
Yeah.
And that is going to karaoke.
Yep. So what is this? Like you just go to like a bar and just like get really drunk and embarrass yourself in front of strangers?
I really feel like you're quizzing me right now.
No.
But no, it's private room karaoke, and you can. What?
No, just keep it going.
Why'd you look at me?
Was I looking at you weird? I don't know.
Really?
Sorry. Okay, we'll keep it going.
Anyway, it's a private room karaoke, and you get like these fancy giant remotes that you can like put in the song and search, and they have English songs, Spanish songs, Korean, Chinese, probably Japanese for sure, just a lot of different languages, and you can go there with your friends. You can bring drinks in if you want. The one that we went to didn't offer like drinks or food or snacks or anything, but you were able to bring your own.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
And
it's
called
like
Toma,
by
the way.
It's just a really fun experience, and you get to hang out with your friends and do something a little different than going to the beach or going on a hike. It's like a late night type of activity. Kind
of celebration, have fun without like just doing like all this adventure based stuff, which I think is like should be the core of your experience in Hawaii. It's a cool little extra thing to add on there, and to celebrate with some friends and stuff. So. Yeah, I think it's a really cool, like, lesser-known activity. It's called Toma, by the way, and it's actually right next to Tane Vegan Izakaya. Not literally right next to, but in the same street.
It's like
a few minutes walking. So you can easily pair those two up and have a really fun, great night celebrating and enjoying yourself and indulging a little bit in Hawaii. Because I hope you're going to indulge when you visit Oahu, everybody, because it is such an amazing island, a beautiful place. I could not recommend it enough. Do you have any final thoughts on Oahu or Hawaii as a whole, Vanessa?
Final thoughts. If you think you can't make it work, I'm sure you can.
Yeah. No, it's true. That's really good. I'm so motivated. I'm going to seize the day now. No, it's true.
You know what I mean, though? Like,
yeah, make it happen.
Yeah.
You can definitely find a way to make it budget friendly. Stay in a hostel. Get a rental car only when you need to. Don't get one at all. I actually made a whole video talking about how to spend 7 days. I said 8. Like 7 days. No, 7 days. Exploring the island without a car. Knocking out a lot of these different activities, including hikes, beaches, these activities, hidden gems, food. You can do it all, guys. And we've been to 13 countries, and Oahu still is like one of our favorite places we've ever visited in our life when it comes to like beauty and activities and adventure and just everything included. It's a world-class travel destination for this reason. I hope you enjoyed the travel guide, everybody. Let us know if you have any comments or questions down below, or if you have any of your own recommendations that you'd like to share with other people planning on going to Oahu. So that's it for this episode of the Wonderless Woman podcast. We'll see you, everybody, in 2 weeks for the topic, who knows? We know. I just want to keep that surprise for you guys. But anyway, thanks for listening. Peace.
I didn't say it. Peace.
Peace.